Hey guys, welcome to Cody's Art Corner. I'm kind of publishing some videos pretty fast. The reason why I have you guys kind of widened it looking at me today for part of this is because I want to talk to you about proportions. I told you I was going to conquer the head. Now, my hairs, I obviously have my hat off today. And that's for part of this. I'm going over the proportions. So when you look at a head and you're getting ready to design a head, you noticed yesterday I put in those little cross lines. I'll demonstrate here. So let me switch over to red real quick. So I'm drawing a head, right? Just a generic head. I'm not worried about it looking fancy right now. But you noticed I kind of drew these lines right here. Going from top to bottom. That was really crooked. You guys are going to get the opportunity to watch me actually draw a little bit today in my next video. I'm going to go ahead and erase that line just because it looks ridiculous. But I set up those cross lines right there on the head, and here's why. Okay, so what I want you to do is either look at me while I'm doing this so I can explain it, or you can do it along with me. Take your fingers, just measure, and fill from one corner of the eye to the end of the corner of the eye. Should be about that, right? Well, when you're doing your proportions on a face, you've got an eye's width between each eye. And also to go along with that, if you take that eye width, it should be from the corner of the eye to about your ear. That should be about where it's at. A little bit more than an eye is okay. Everything in the head can be measured by eyes, and I'll go ahead and show this. As well as I'll also show you some of the cross lines too. Okay, so I'm just going to do some generic eyes here. There's an eye right there. Nothing fancy. Think 3-year-old drawing, anyway. And there's about an eye width in between. You know. Maybe I should change colors here real quick. I'll change colors for the other eyes. Just kind of get rid of this line real quick. Alright, we'll go into a different color. I'll go into blue. But notice there's about an eye's distance there to there. If you were to do another eye's distance rounding your head, right there, you'd have an ear. You know. In this case, it's pretty easy because I've got everything set up here already. And it's pretty easy to just follow your lines here for where your ears are, especially seeing as I'm doing a frontal view. And then if you go your nose from bridge to the lower portion where your nostrils are, it's also the same size as an eye. Same thing. You know, so one full eye's distance between the eyes from the pupil of the center eye here is at the bottom of the nose. So, I mean, like I said, think 3-year-old drawing, but, you know, that's where the nose would be. I'm giving you guys a pretty goofy looking guy right now. And then, if you want to do another eye width from the base of your nose to about the bottom of, you know, the top of your chin, bottom of your lip flappage. if you put the slit of the mouth about where the pupil would be, you've got a proportionate mouth, essentially. So everything's kind of measured in eyes. Same thing if you were to go up here, about an eye and a half would be where the hairline would probably start on this dude. Given he's kind of goofy looking, if you're actually paying attention here, he is really goofy looking. But so everything on the head can be measured by eyes. One thing to note is your nostrils right here. I'm gonna go ahead and make myself bigger for a second. The nostril line here. If you were to trace that all the way up, once again you'd hit your pupils again. So keep that in mind. And then your outside rim of your mouth sorry, I shouldn't say it goes to your pupil. The outside rim of your mouth goes to where your pupils are. I'm sorry. The inside nose is about where your iris would be if you were drawing about your iris or inside tear duct area. Especially with my face. My face, I have a really slender nose. But the basics of drawing is all about being able to manipulate your fundamentals. So if I'm drawing an alien, which I like to do sometimes because I'm a Star Wars nerd, in this case I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this guy. Actually, I can probably just delete this layer and just create a new one. Okay, so if I was to draw, I'll go back up here to red. Switch this back around. But, okay, so if I was to draw an alien, my proportions wouldn't be as pronounced as that, Let's draw a Star Wars alien real quick. Thought I switched that around. My bad. Okay, so go back to my paintbrush real quick. Sorry, sometimes my Photoshop kicks me over to the other end. So, okay, let's go here. And I'll erase this line really quick. I like to do everything in red. That tells me that it's not finished. But let's draw a Star Wars alien here. My favorite Star Wars alien is Plo Koon. He's a Keldorian. I mean, he's got the basics of a normal head. And his eyes are, right about here. And he kind of always has a scowl on, so and then his mask is, I'm just going to add some ripples to the nose here. His mask kind of does this number here, kind of Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero-esque. And you can modify people, when it comes to drawing like aliens and stuff, you can modify that. And then his ears, he doesn't really have ears. He's got these weird little like kidney things hanging off the side of his head. Think Princess Leia's like ear flap things. According to Star Wars lore, that's actually part of his breathing stuff. So we've got a goofy looking alien going here. I'm sorry, I need to change this up for you. Just kind of a goofy looking alien thing here. And he's got these little points here, points here, But you notice I changed and manipulated the basic forms of the face. Instead of nose and mouth, I put this thing in here. So, or even if we were to, draw a different kind of alien, go ahead and delete this layer and create a new one. Do a bigger head alien, traditional alien style. You could put the eyes all the way down here and give him monster size eyes with no real definition. You got an alien going there. A little, give him some cheeks-ish. Change his body structure a little bit. Once again, like I said, I do a lot of stuff in red first. That way I know what I'm looking at as far as baseline of my sculpture. You notice I used that head and I turned him into a pretty decent looking alien, to be honest with you. For a quick little sketch, not terrible. I've done worse. But, that's manipulation of the basic fundamentals of drawing the proportions of the head, And when it comes to drawing things that are out of this world or amphibious or whatever, you can change and manipulate the forms a little bit. I'm putting some brows on this guy just to see where he can go. Make him look a little angry, maybe. Even though he's got a bit of a smile going. So, yeah, I hope that answers some of your questions as far as proportions are concerned. Just remember, you can measure everything by eyes instead of doing trying to come up with your own proportions. Just measure everything by eyes. Facial hair is not really something I've really gotten down. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not the best artist in the world, and when it comes to finding your style, it's a lot of work. I'm still kind of in the middle of finding my style, so maybe in the midst of me teaching you guys maybe some basics, I can, find more of my style and help myself in the process. It's also good practice. I will say that with me drawing on my Wacom tablet, my art is a lot more loose because of the fact that there's not as much pencil drag with my stylus on the screen. The screen's very, very smooth, whereas paper has a little bit of a tooth to it. And you're obviously wiping away graphite or lead or something like that. I am getting ready to, in my next drawing, which will probably be posted today, I'm going to cover a cartoon. There's a cartoon I've got in my head that I want to draw, and I figured I'd just have you guys tag along with me. I wanted to create an avatar for my channel, and you guys kind of get to see that process of me doodling around and seeing what I can do. I'm just going to kind of throw on some music and let you guys watch if that's what you guys want to do. Maybe watch and see how I come up with some stuff. Thanks again. Don't forget to press that like button, hit that little Taco Bell on there to get alerted to when I put out new videos, whatnot like that. Send me comments, messages, stuff like that. If you like what I'm doing, tell me. If you don't like what I'm doing, criticize. I like constructive criticism. I'm here to learn just as much as you are. I'm just kind of going through the basics, you know, of how to draw and how to maybe design some stuff, you know. There's a future in art. There always will be. There's always going to be art in our world, and if you have a desire to be an artist, you know, maybe following some of the stuff that I'm saying might help you out as far as following that pathway. You know, I didn't think that there was always going to be a pathway for artists, but there is. You know, you've got to have documentation and history of where we've been, and art is a big part of that. So, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, please thumbs up if you like the video. I'm always down for some constructive criticism. Thanks, guys.